Movies and shows are often judged by their box office success, but sometimes the true value of a film isn't measured by ticket sales alone. Some big-budget productions, despite their impressive visuals, star power, and compelling stories, struggle to find financial success upon release. Yet over time, many of these underperforming films have gained a devoted following, earning praise for their creativity, storytelling, and lasting impact. So, let's dive into some of the most expensive shows and movies that, despite their box office failures, have still found a special place in the hearts of fans and critics. Beau is Afraid. Beau Wasserman, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is a soft-spoken, overly anxious guy whose paranoia is fueled by his overbearing mom, Mona, played by Patti LuPone. Her influence looms large in his mind. On his way to visit her, Beau faces a series of surreal and bizarre challenges, from his dangerous neighborhood to his own internal struggles. After Ari Aster's hits like Hereditary and Midsommar wowed horror fans and crushed it at the box office, Beau is Afraid seemed like another guaranteed win. But this surreal mix of comedy, horror, and tragedy, spanning 3 hours, didn't land as hoped, making only $12 million on a $35 million budget. While it's definitely Aster's most unconventional film yet, his storytelling talent and knack for stirring up deep emotions are still front and center. Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. With a budget of $168 million, Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga brought in $173.8 million at the box office, just barely breaking even. After an apocalypse leaves Australia a barren wasteland, the green place of many mothers becomes one of the last havens with fresh water, vegetation, and agriculture. While picking peaches in the green place, a young Furiosa, played by Ayla Brown, is kidnapped by raiders and taken to their leader, Dementis, played by Chris Hemsworth. Furiosa, portrayed in adulthood by Anya Taylor-Joy, spends years as his prisoner, with Dementis plotting to one day use her to find the green place. Mad Max Fury Road, released in 2015, is hailed as a groundbreaking cinematic masterpiece admired by filmmakers and fans. However, despite its critical acclaim, the film struggled to recover its production costs. With this in mind, the lukewarm financial performance of Furiosa likely didn't shock industry analysts. Still, for those who believe outstanding filmmaking deserves recognition and success, the disappointing box office returns of Furiosa reflect the ongoing struggles of modern cinema. Donnie Darko. With a budget of $4.5 million, Donnie Darko made just over $500,000 during its initial domestic release, marking it as a box office flop. Its poor performance was partly due to a poorly timed marketing campaign. Released just weeks after 9/11, the movie's promotional materials featured a jet engine crashing into Donnie's bedroom, making it difficult to advertise effectively during such a sensitive time. Despite its rocky start, Donnie Darko received glowing reviews and has since become one of the most celebrated indie films of the 2000s. After hitting video and DVD, it gained a passionate cult following, thanks to its gripping story and Jake Gyllenhaal's mesmerizing breakout performance, which catapulted him into Hollywood fame. Looking back, it's hard to believe the film was ever a box office failure, as it's now considered a defining and beloved classic of its era. The Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad raises the obvious question: would it have performed better without the pandemic and Warner Bros.' decision to release it on HBO Max alongside its theatrical debut? We'll never know for sure, but what we do know is that this $185 million DC adventure deserved to earn more than $55 million domestically and $168 million worldwide. Despite flopping at the box office, the movie was a hit with fans, thanks to Gunn's signature mix of offbeat humor and unapologetic violence, which worked perfectly for the DC franchise. In today's streaming era, box office numbers may not hold the same weight, as more people choose the comfort of their couches over a trip to the theater. Children of Men. Another film that flopped at the box office but earned love from audiences and critics is Alfonso Cuarón's dystopian action thriller Children of Men, starring Clive Owen and Julianne Moore. With a production budget of $76 million, it fell short financially, bringing in just $70.5 million. While Cuarón later enjoyed box office success with Gravity, Children of Men is just as deserving, if not more so, of recognition and praise. Since its release, Children of Men has been celebrated for its technical brilliance and Cuarón's visionary direction. The stunning filmmaking, Gripping action sequences and deeply emotional storytelling have helped it build a devoted following. Over the years, its reputation has only grown, often earning spots on lists of the best films of the 21st century. Many consider it one of the greatest sci-fi movies that deserved far more attention, including Oscar recognition. Fight Club. Fight Club, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, had a rocky start but later became a cultural phenomenon. From the outset, the film faced challenges due to its violent themes. Studio executives were so wary of its potential backlash that they restructured director David Fincher's original marketing plan to minimize anticipated losses. When it hit theaters, the movie met the studio's low expectations and flopped. With a production budget exceeding $60 million, it earned just $37 million domestically. Critics were sharply divided, with many polarized by its controversial content, a debate that continues for some even today. However, Fight Club found its audience through home video, building a massive cult following. Its thought-provoking story and standout performances by Norton and Pitt solidified its status as one of the most influential cult classics of all time, proving its lasting impact despite its rocky beginnings. The Last Duel. The Last Duel had a budget of $100 million but earned only $30.6 million at the box office. Set in medieval France, the film tells the story of a community torn apart when Marguerite accuses her husband's friend Jacques Legris of rape. While her husband, Jean de Carouge, is more concerned with his reputation and her status as his property, he challenges Jacques to a judicial duel. The narrative unfolds 3 times, each from the perspective of one of the characters. Despite its box office performance, The Last Duel stands as a powerful film that will likely be rediscovered and reevaluated over time. While financial success and artistic achievement don't always go hand in hand, the failure of this film stings more than most. With an A-list cast and Ridley Scott at the helm, it's a masterfully crafted historical epic that delves deeply into the suffocating and powerless experience of women throughout history. The film is not just an outstanding historical drama, it's a poignant and painful exploration of one woman's life through her eyes and those of the powerful men around her. Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet is Disney's sci-fi twist to Treasure Island. A young Jim Hawkins must travel the universe to find the titular Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet failed to make back its $140 million budget, earning less than $110 million. Ultimately, Treasure Planet is believed to have endured a $79 million loss. It didn't do so well, and that led Disney to shift away from traditional animation. They even scrapped plans for a sequel and a possible series. But honestly, this movie was awesome. I loved it as a kid, and it still holds up. The characters are amazing with such great designs. Jim's outfit is everything. There's real character growth and a solid personality arc. I love how the movie focuses on the special connections between characters without forcing some cheesy love story. It's such a great take on the book, just set in space, and I really appreciated how they stayed true to the original. The movie does a great job sticking to the story, but also gets super creative with it. The colors and coppery tones make it feel unique and memorable. John Carter. Disney's John Carter, based on Edgar Rice Burroughs' A Princess of Mars from the Barsoom series, had a rough ride. The movie reportedly lost at least $100 million, with some estimates going as high as $200 million. Unsurprisingly, Disney canceled the planned sequels, Gods of Mars and Warlord of Mars. Adapting the Barsoom books into a movie had been an idea since the 1930s. The books influenced iconic films like Avatar and Star Wars and may have even inspired the U.S. space program. Sadly, modern audiences didn't connect with John Carter, thinking it felt like a copy of the very stories the original books helped inspire. This movie now has a huge cult following, topping on streaming charts several times. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. See you next time!